Hello, and welcome to the Joy Link, where we empower and inspire others to expand in joy. I'm your co-host, Brian, and joined by the always amazing Julia. Hi, Julia. How are you?
I'm great. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to have you back here on
Yeah,
the podcast. And
it's been a week, right?
yes,
So we're back with a totally new aspect to joy. So what are we going to talk about today?
so today we'll be having a more of the casual episode, which is based on the task of the last week, which was the joy list of the 10 things that brings you joy. We'll be talking about what brings us joy and what were the results of the experiencing more joy in the previous week,
Right.
and we will leave you with a cool task for the next week. So yeah, that's just join for a conversation, listen and tune in to our conversation.
Yeah. And we are the guinea pigs of our own task list. So what was one of the first things on your list?
Oh, guys, just one joyful thing for you guys. I have a new mic. So the quality of listening should increase. If
Yeah.
not, let us know. We will keep working. I'm new to it, so I'm still figuring out stuff out. So the mic is new. I have exact the same mic as Brian. So yeah, that's what brought my joy this week for sure.
Yeah,
Great shopping deals brings me joy for sure.
yeah, we've got Twinkie mics, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so we got some good quality stuff so they can hear us real well.
yes.
Yes, okay, that's one of the first ones, right? What brought you joy? Some good sound quality. Yeah,
I think that's for the listeners.
right. Yeah, bringing them more joy.
Yes.
Correct.
You're welcome, guys. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
right.
Yeah, so Brian, what did you put on your list? What were the, let's say, first three things on your list?
Right, the first three things, right? So we had a list of 10. The first three things the first one was doing for others. And it's just going back to the ancient wisdom, they all say, the more you're in service for others, the more joy you're going to have. So that hit the top of the list for me, right? Doing for others. And there's a couple good examples in there throughout the week. And then the second thing was sharing meaningful conversations and coaching others, right? Meaningful conversations or coaching, either way. And so there were some pretty cool conversations throughout the week. So that was really quite joyful as well. And then the third thing was slowing down in nature, because I love being plugged in, and I will plug myself in way too long. So just having a good routine around that and then actually putting it on a list was really supportive and added to my joy as well. So yeah,
All right.
top three.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I maybe the wisdom comes with the age, and because my top three are slightly different.
Right, right. Well, yeah, that's the
Um,
fun part, right?
yeah, I put
Nobody's
like
telling me I'm older. Yeah, I know, but it's only a number. I'm actually
no, but I
still
agree.
think I'm 35.
I agree with the service part, and I do my best to do as much service as I can on the weekly basis.
Right.
But I did not include that on my list. So I put walking outside in the park. There is this beautiful park behind my house that, yeah, I just love being there. It's full of nature. So that's what you had on your list as well. And then I put swimming and being near water. The city that I live, it's surrounded by water. So it's just beautiful, and it just has this good effect on me. And actually, today I saw a seal picking up out of the fjord. So it was so beautiful. So I was like, worth it. So each time when
Wow.
yeah, so it was pretty cool. And then I put going to a coffee shop with a friend, or just like this casual vibe, and also good talks about it. And yeah, so I've done that this week as well. So it was great. Yeah, so yeah, but it was actually something was cool about this task because I made this list right here. I put 10 things, and every day I was wondering, like, okay, how I will do it, like how I will do it today. And I was like, usually you have a to-do list that is like sometimes less or more overwhelming, but then it's like the list of gratitude, the list of joy, like of joyful things to do. I'm like, okay, how I'll incorporate that into a day. And I think it's a good problem to have. And
Right,
I could really feel like yeah, reminded about it. And I
right,
think it's often slipping through, like it's just slipping out of my mind to do those things that brings me a lot of joy.
right. Yeah, it's really something that is important to prioritize. And that happened to me during the first few days as well. When I was really tracking it, I was like, oh, okay, where can I find time for this and that? And out of the 10, well, I made sure I'm like, okay, I don't need to do all 10 every day. All I have to do is like one or two. And then the funny thing is the more I was focused on it, the more things I actually did out of that list. And so I think there was like we started on Tuesday last week, and then I did like 6 things that day, which was
Oh,
wild. I'm like, wow, that's a lot from that list.
yeah.
And then Wednesday was 7, and then Thursday was like 6, and then Friday was 4, and it was like, yeah, there was a whole ton of different things that can really add joy to your life when you prioritize them. So
Yeah, I
I'm
think
glad you
that's
did
a
this one.
great word, great word that you use, like when you prioritize them, because that was the same for me. I think there was this one day this week, this past week, that I was woke up a little bit later, but I put on my list also reading a great book, a good book, and I've decided to reread The Midnight Library. It's an amazing book about yeah, like different alternative lives, and it's a beautiful novel that kind of shows that there is no point of having regrets in life, because if you could, you would do different. That's it. So, and I had this beautiful morning when I was just reading a book, having coffee. I could have started working already, but it was just such a beautiful morning. I loved it. I loved everything about it, and then it really it really set up my mind for a day ahead. It
Right,
was great. I think it's one of these mornings that they are slow, but at the same time you feel so in peace with
right,
yourself and with everything around. So it was definitely worth it. And I
right.
wouldn't start reading this book again if I wouldn't have it on the list, for sure not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the funny part, like how many people actually have a list of the things that they enjoy and then run down them. Right. It's more of like a rare thing. Yet once we focus on it and actually, verbalize it, then we can actually do those things. Right. We add it to a list and I put it on the wall and oh, these are things that make me happy and bring me joy. Great. I'm gonna do those.
It's like it's the magic to life, like focus on
Right.
what you want
Right.
instead of focusing that you don't want. And actually there is this cool thing that if you would be listing all the things that you love in life, how long it would took for you to list yourself, right? So
Right.
it's one of these things that
Right.
people and for me, I wasn't aware of for majority of my life what actually brings me joy, what it's my things that brings me joy, like I remember it was some time ago when yeah, it was in the place where I lived previously. I lived with two cool guys, and they were, oh, are you going out this Friday? I'm like, "I'm staying and reading." And one of them said like, oh, I wish I would like spending time with myself that much. So that was quite powerful. It really like imprinted on my mind that like for
Right.
me it's you don't have to be around people to experience joy. And
Right.
before I was like, I'm an extrovert to I don't know, like the most extroverted person that many people know, probably it's me. And I love people, I love being around, but also not on my own expense. No, it just,
Right.
I know what brings me joy. I love quality conversations. I love spending time with amazing people that I have around, and that's also what you put on your list, and it's on my list as well. Like
Right.
I value quality conversation, quality time, but at the same time, yeah, either quality or nothing for me. And that
Right.
nothing, it's quality as well.
Yeah, it's important that we prioritize that time alone for ourselves, right? Because that's what can set up that firm foundation so that when we do hang out with others, we bring that amazing energy to them. And it's like a gift instead of, not having a joy list and then just focusing on the obligations of the day. which can usually kind of steal your joy a little bit, like things I have to do, right? So it's good to reframe that a little bit. And then focusing on just being joyful and then handing that out to people whenever you're with them. Yeah. How much people are really plugged in nowadays. There's not as much reflection going on. And so really slowing down the inputs and just sitting on the couch and having a good book and just being by yourself and enjoying that time. Yeah, so some of that stuff is really priceless. And yeah, it can bring us tons of joy. And then we can go out and we feel energized, right?
Exactly. I remember this saying, I think, guys, this is first time when I'm saying it on the podcast, but more is coming for sure. It's like Lady Gaga saying there could be 99 people in the room, but there's one. If you know, you know, but otherwise, I'm continuing with my story.
Right.
There is this, I went to Nepal. I went and I stayed for several months due to quarantine. I lived in amazing city, and there was this old Russian guy that he was doing this like a body mind connection, and he was doing massage. Then it was like an old Russian guy, and I went there, and he told me one thing, and I keep repeating it to a lot of people. Guys, you are one of them to hear that story. I think Brian, I haven't heard that.
Right.
So this old Russian man, I wish I would know his name, but I don't. He said, like, if you are walking on the street and you see like a starving person, like starving, like, and you have a bread in your pocket, can you share it with that person?
Right.
And would you give it to the person?
Right.
Right? Like your tummy is full, you share it, right? And then you gave all the bread away. Your pocket is empty, and you continue walking, and you see person that it's even more starving. It's not possible, but they are starving even more.
Right.
Can you share with them? Can you?
Not the bread that you gave away.
No, because you don't have it. So that's the thing in life, that you cannot share or give. No, you cannot give something that you don't have. And the same is with happiness, with
Right.
love, and the same is with joy. You cannot give something to someone if you don't have it yourself.
There you go.
And that's the story that you will hear several times. I will try to polish it up a little bit. So, I'm working on it. So
Right.
I love it. And it's the same with joy, that so many people are just trying to give, but they are taking from an empty tank. Like there is nothing, there is literally nothing to give. So
Right.
until you take care of your own tank, fill it with joy, with love, with respect, then you can go for it. But otherwise, you're just giving out of emptiness. And this is
Right.
not a place that many people are there. And I've been there, but it's not the place to thrive in, I would say.
Right. Well, yeah, that is incredibly true and also quite profound as well, right? We
Old Russian man in Nepal.
right. Yeah, yeah, we can't give what we don't have. And yeah, so that's really like one end of a spectrum, right? If you're empty, well, then there's nothing for you to give. And then on the other side, because I like to think of it like a glass that's totally empty, and then a glass that's totally full, like you can't accept or receive anything because you're up to here, right? You're
Mm,
just up to your eyeballs in stuff already. And so then the answer on that side would be to dump a little bit out,
yeah.
right? Get about half full. And then you have both something to give and you're open to receive as well, right? So then that's really like an alignment in the middle, right? I have space. I have space to give and receive. And then there's a flow that happens, right? Because otherwise, yeah, the other side is you're empty and it's more like that poverty, right? And you have nothing to give. Well, then it's time to receive a ton, right? Get halfway full, get back in the middle, centered, and then you can play the game better.
Yeah, exactly. And I was wondering, was it something that you put on the list that surprised you? Like something that, okay, I didn't know that actually brings me joy when I think about it, or
Well, it's one of those things that I've been doing for so long that you can just say, well, that's just part of me and I don't think about it. Or is it like take it for granted? Right. And so I put down creating in the flow state.
Oh.
Right. Because it's something that I've been doing since I can remember. Right. Ever since I picked up a crayon or a pencil or whatever, it's like I was connecting into this vast space of inspiration and creativity and innovation, and just really allowing myself to flow in that space. And yeah, that's like when I was little, I either wanted to be a cartoonist or an architect, right? So it was like there's a left brain and there's a right brain, like totally organic drawing or like really rigid and like give me the tools and make perfect lines. And so then when I was older, I combined them, right, into something called graphic design. And then I went to university for that. And yeah, but just been connecting with that flow state ever since I was little, and painting and drawing and all that kind of stuff. So actually putting it on a list and saying, okay, I am going to this week was really, really nice. And there were, I think, 4 different big sessions this week, or well, yeah, over the course of the work week, the Tuesday through Friday. And just it brought up some awareness as well, like in the moment, like, oh, I'm in the flow state, right? And then I want to keep going because it brings a lot of joy, right? And so, yeah, that was another thing that was on my list for the week. I'm going to be talking about the flow state on a webinar at the end of the month. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be over by the time this comes out, yet you can always catch that on my website.
Yeah, there will be link in the notes. Will it be possible to rewatch the webinar?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I can
So
still.
there will be link for you guys to get to it. I will be on that webinar as well, like listening to Brian. So for me, like I put 2 surprising things. On the list, I put cleaning and organizing and also cooking a healthy meal. So for
Nice.
someone who is like who majority of people takes those as a chore, I was quite surprised. I'm like, yeah, I do love cooking a healthy meal because then I eat well and then I feel well and all of that. And then cleaning and organizing, I was like, I love it because it's this one thing that you can do and have a very fast results, right? It's like a
Right.
lot of things that I do on daily basis, it takes so much time to involve, right? Like to, for example, a new program and work with client, it takes months to see the results. Like even social media work, some videos are picking up, some not, but it's like I was like cleaning and organizing, it's on the spot, half an hour done. So and I know fun note on the side, I actually this week, like few days ago, and probably that's the result of experiencing all that joy. And also I put the flowers on the list because I love flowers. And then each time when I was passing on the flowers on the street, I was reminded myself about it. So as a result of this joy week for me, it was first of all, I've created a new program that is called Time to Bloom, which is a business mentoring and strategy. And I'm working with others, and I already have 2 clients for it. I haven't finished the website yet, but it's fine. And then another thing on cleaning, I decided to join my friend, and we tried a cleaning company just to, so yeah, it's like all of this created energy and a lot of things happened this week. And I don't know if I can link it directly to joy, but the
Right.
podcast is the joy link, so yes, I do that. How was it for
Yeah.
you, Brian? How was it? How was it? What was the result in this week? Did you feel any different? Did you, like, did you notice anything? Because I did. I think I was coping way more with stress. I was more like, let it go. Like
Right.
it will go away. I don't need to do anything to solve that. So I was really focusing on being more joyful, and I could see the results of that. And I'm really grateful for this week. What was it for you?
Right. Yeah, it was really great to actually focus on those 10 different things and, like I said, prioritize them. So one of them was getting a good workout in, in the morning, right? Really activating the body with vigorous activity, exercising and pushing my limits, right? And so throughout the week, I just kind of kept feeling into my body and, I feel stronger, right? Because I'm doing 100 push-ups by 10 in the morning, right? It's just a thing that I do now, right? I wanted to have a habit, so I started with one push-up, right? And you build it up over time. And so that was really great, feeling stronger and lighter, because the more I'm focused on joy, the more it's going to come up in my, let's say, consciousness, my conscious awareness. And also, there was a lot of um, things on the list about being productive and expressing myself, right? Having that freedom of expression and getting into the flow as well. So there was a lot of really good productivity that came out. And yeah, one of them was the webinar. And then, which is also going to lead into a new program that I am launching as well, right? And that is called the Mastery Mind State Program. And so that is really going to take people from like a fractured, stressful, unfocused mind into like a laser focused mind, so that you can access the flow state really easily and then have all of that innovation and creativity to create all the innovative solutions that you want. And
I
so, yeah, that really crystallized during the week as well.
awesome.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of big results this
Yeah.
week.
Wow, that's amazing. I think it's quite interesting that both of us came up with a new programs. I don't know, coincidence or not. There are no coincidence, I'm saying, and I believe in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we should have another episode on joy and focus, but actually
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've done the tasks of the week, so which was the writing a list of 10 things that brings you joy and then
Right.
doing your best to implement as many as you can throughout the days for a week, then you will love our task for this week.
Here
And
we
in
go.
this week, the task is way simpler, is that you write like the most joyful day, right? So it's a description of the day. You will have a template and leading questions to answer that will help you to establish like the most joyful day, where you write the description, like how is your the most joyful day looking like? What time do you wake up? What do you do? How you do it? And all of that. And this exercise will actually activate your imagination and visualization, and then you can just give it a shot and try to implement some of those things. So let's say if you're joyful time to wake up, it's 9, then if you wake up at 9 on Thursday, I'm like, yeah, I nailed the time for today. So
Right.
yeah, that's the task.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The more we can really get clear on what brings us joy and what that, let's say, magical, most joyful day looks like, then just like that joy list of here are the 10 things that bring me joy, we can create like a masterpiece day, right? Because we focus on it. Okay, what is the best thing to do? Like, what would my most joyful day look like? So, so yeah, I think that I'm going to continue with my joy list and keep adding things to it and moving things around because it worked so well last week. It could become, let's say, one of my keystone habits, right? It's just
Yeah,
something that I do. What gives me joy? And then make sure I do it all week. And a big part of that is going to be what is my most joyful day? And then I'm going to aim at it every single day. So I can't wait to hear what yours is going to be. And
amazing.
we'll talk
And
about that next week,
yeah, it
right?
will be in the so the template, it will be possible for you to download. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Super.
Brian, do the outro.
Yes, well, definitely thanks. Thanks again for stopping in and listening to us on the Joy Link. I hope we have given you some empowering ways and have inspired you to expand in your joy as we have found in our own lives. And you can check us out on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, and feel free to join our Substack as well. Like and subscribe, And I think Julia was going to ask you about some coffee as well.
Oh yeah, guys, if you like what we're doing and you would like to support us, you can buy us coffee. There is more about it in the show note. Have a
Yes.
great day or afternoon or night, wherever you are listening to it. And yeah, stay enjoy. And you will see us and hear us next week.
Yep.
Feel
All
free to
right.
connect. Like we're always happy to hear from you.
Yeah, most definitely. Have a
Yes.
good one. All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Bye.